Alright guys, today we're going to go ahead and do a quick swap on this M16 A2 clone that I have. This is actually one of my personal guns. Just a generic M16 A2. Some gray lowers, gray upper, looks pretty cool. Little Colt scope on it. But I'm not a big fan of the nitride shiny barrel on that. I'd rather have a phosphate barrel or maybe even paint it. I'll do something with it. But I want to take this barrel off to replace it or paint it. One of the two. First thing first, I got to take off this muzzle device. This is a Surefire A2 SOCOM mount, so it looks a lot like an A2 birdcage, but it is actually a SOCOM suppressor mount, as indicative right there, that little nub. After that, once that comes off, the front sight post, I got to punch these two pins out. Sheet comes off, and then I'll probably pull it out of the upper as well. So a few things going on there, but let's get started. First thing first, make sure the gun is unloaded, of course. She is empty. Pull the mag, drop the bolt, punch out the pins. Set the lower down. Bolt carrier group charging handle come out. Put that to the side. So now we're just working with this upper right here. Now, we have a Geisley reaction rod right here. That's what I'm going to use to actually break this muzzle device off. The reaction rod locks into the actual lugs in the barrel extension. It is by far and away the best way to secure the barrel. That way nothing funky happens. You start cranking on it. Now we got righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. There's a generic flat right there on the bird cage. Oh, and she's on there pretty good. Twist her around a little bit. There we go. No such luck. I'm going to twist the barrel extension and pull on it. That's probably my best bet. Alright, got barely just enough room to work. Probably cut it to where I actually get it off. Oh, and she gives, finally. Alright, I got her to break by torquing on it pretty hard. This sucker's seen a fair bit of rounds during its short life so far. If you've never shot a 20-inch, good amount of carbon and some Loctite in there. If you've never shot a 20-inch M16 style gun with like a rifle length gas system, you really need to. It is awesome. They shoot really flat, they shoot really good. I mean, it's as God and Eugene Stoner intended. Can't beat it. Alright, now that I got that off, take these shims off. Those threads look disgusting, so we're going to give that a quick clean as well. There's some Real Avid foul out gunk buster. Works pretty good. Get a generous amount on those threads. Got a wire brush here. And that stuff can't say no to that gunk buster. All right, looks good now. Put everything to the side. So there's what we're working with now. Bare threads. On to the next step. We got to get this front sight post off. So, for my tool here, I actually got to take off these hand guards. So they are the first to go. Alright. And I gave the barrel kind of some shit, but it is a ballistic advantage. I like ballistic advantage quite a bit. A lot of my guns run their stuff. This barrel shoots great and it's gassed really good. I'm just not a fan of the nitride finish on old retro guns. A lot of the older guns use phosphate, and nitride is better 100%, but phosphate just looks so good. So got that off. I'm not even gonna mess with the gas tube, it's fine as it is. I have a Brownell's front sight post punch for pins out and pins in. It's a little block here, it catches all the pins. So I'll set it up in there. Drops right in. I'll put that little rag right there, give some space on each side. Take my punch. Now, just like the tool it shows here, you always want to hit front sight posts from this side to knock the pins out. And these pins are tapered too, so you want to pay attention whenever you reinsert them. Don't mess that up. Alright, so all that's left to do now is get to swinging. So we'll line that punch off. Give it a couple taps to start. There we go. That one couldn't say no. This one's moving a little bit. If I can get her to stay centered. Get her to stay flat. Solid strike. Might need to jump to a little bit bigger punch just to get some more surface area. So now I'm starting to move around a little bit. Let's look for something a little bit bigger. If something's not working, look for something that might fit the bill better before you really start swinging on it and mess something up that you don't want to mess up. Okay, that's a little bigger. Let's give that a try. No dice. It was also brass. My hopes were kind of high right there. Calipers. There we go. That might fit the bill. Oh yeah. Let's give this a whirl. Just moving just a little bit. When in doubt, hit it with some kind of lubricant, some oil. No matter how tight that lockup seems, I promise you some oil can find its way in there and do some good. The first time I actually ever did one of these, it was on I believe it was a Colt, and the front side pins were in there so tight, I had to hit it with a fair amount of oil, let it sit overnight before they would even think about budging, and that did the trick. Hopefully we don't have to do that here though. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Swap to the smaller one now. There we go. Out she goes. All right. That's usually the biggest pain that there is when it comes to this. Now, should be able to just slide right off. Triangle handguard, or triangle little handguard retainer. All right, all looks good. And you can see there's the gas port, and then the two little cuts for the pins. Now, last thing to do is we're going to hit this little barrel nut here. This is a mil-spec barrel nut. We're going to hit that, take it off, and we're going to pray that this thing isn't torqued on there to an insane spec, because that would not be fun. There we go. This is a Magpul wrench. I haven't used a whole ton of AR wrenches, but this one for sure is my favorite. It's got just about everything you need, and it's strong. It's not made out of pot metal like some of them. So we'll try this one. Catches up. Oh, and she gave. Couldn't say no. Okay, hard part's over with. Now, we can just spin that little delta ring right there. And out she goes. Just like that. Thankfully that one wasn't cranked down to a gnarly spec like a lot of other manufacturers do. But look, isn't it so cute now? Just a little upper. Alright. And she comes right off the front. I'm going to leave everything else there because probably need to go right back on it once I get done with it. But there we are. That is the end goal, the naked 20-inch barrel, who's either going to get sold tonight and replaced with something else or just straight up painted. But appreciate you guys watching. If you guys like the content, give us a follow. My name is Zane. Come stop by and see us at Valor Defense Depot here in Lawton, Oklahoma.